Hello and welcome, fellow Pathfinders. My name is Deanne and this is King Nuts Tarot. I'm going to do a general reading for healers today. That's healers of any description. It could be hands-on healing, counselling, tarot read, any sort of healing work, or, if you feel that you've got some sort of healing ability. This reading won't resonate with everybody, but we'll start and just see where we go. Okay, so without further ado, please be mindful of 3 loud sounds while I cleanse this space. Just pop that over there. Right then, let's see what we've got. Right, so we have Garnet, Manifestation of Purpose. Oh, can't see the camera. Right, pop that one there. Read that in a sec. Oh, aura. Got 2 aura cards. Okay, Crown Chakra. Turquoise aura meaning. Third chakra, Archangel Michael. Oh, sorry, Archangel Shamuel. Why did I think that was Michael? Healer of the Ages. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. I think this one's going to be about chakras. Wow. Oh. Yin Yang. Might have to put a couple of them there, actually. A couple on there. Saint Padre Pio. Read that one in a minute. And Archangel Haniel. So straight away we've got a lot of archangels coming in here for this reading. Right, so we have manifestation of purpose, the yin yang, and a lot of chakras. Right, so I think with some of you probably balancing out, something in your life right now. It could be balancing out your healing path that you're on with your 3D life as it is, It could be balancing the books. It could... Hang on a minute. Right, so I'm getting balancing chakras, which might make sense actually, because you've got crown chakra, second chakra, third chakra. You got any more? No, but you do have a lot of chakras. So, yeah, working on connection, I'm getting. Live simply, live from the heart, and know that you are all connected. Yeah. It is time to take control of your little self, your mind, and connect fearlessly to your higher self. Right, okay. So, just off the bat here, I'm getting a lot of connection, balancing out the connections with the chakras. So, working a lot on your chakras or bringing them more into alignment, I'm getting with someone here. Like I said before, I am feeling that someone's trying to balance out the 3D life, the everyday living life, as in get up in the morning, go to work or sort the kids out, or, all that, into the, I'm going to say healing work, but also what I've got here as well is someone trying to balance the everyday job with a manifestation of purpose. So trying to find the time to balance everything together. I also feel that it's thrown someone out of sync to the point where they're thinking, is this really for me? I feel like someone's had a really hard time. Hang on a minute. I feel like someone is, every time they take a step forward on this path, a lot of things come in, to sort of hinder that progress. I'm getting that happens with everybody. Hang on, let me just... It's a test. You're being tested. Yeah. Some sort of test or initiation's going on right now. What's that? Making you believe in yourself, giving you more confidence in the path that you've taken. All these trials now, if you're having a lot of trials in your life right now, trying to make all this fit, you're on the final run. As in, initiation. That's not to say once you've got over this that everything's going to be hunky-dory, and rainbows and butterflies. What it's trying to say is, what I'm hearing anyway, is these trials that keep coming at you now is a test of your strength, a test of your willpower, a test of your endurance, It's saying path of a healer isn't an easy one. Yeah, there's still a lot of trials and tribulations to overcome. However, with what you've been going through at the moment, if it's been bam, 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 with everything, I feel that this is your final, depending where you're up to, but I feel that if everything's coming at you now, every time you seem to take a step forward with something and, align with something and everything's coming in to sort of throw you off, it's like some sort of initiation. Don't give up now. Yeah. This process is teaching you more about yourself And when you look back on the future, in the future, Spirit's saying, when you look back, you're going to realise why you had all these tests at the end to break, because you were breaking through something. Yeah? The path of initiation. What was that? The path of initiation has never been an easy one. Right, let's pull some more cards, and I'll pull a couple of these ones, and then we'll see how this progresses. Yeah, I'm getting someone that every time they reach a certain level, and this could have happened for you many, many times, not just recently, but every time you seem to get to that level, everything comes in at you, and you feel like you're going, sinking back into the mire sort of thing. But there is a purpose to that. You're building up your spiritual armour. In order to become a healer, you have to, in order to become a healer, you have to learn how to put your spiritual armour on. And you can only do that if you go through the trials. Right, okay. Let's pull a couple of these ones and see. Yeah, because this one's, it's time to take control of your little self, your mind. And live more simply. Just have a couple of these ones, please. Yeah. So, transformation, rebirth, change. So, I feel like there's a lot of people right now being initiated. Journey, exploration, life lessons. Yeah, definitely. So, I feel that the more that comes at you now, be grateful for. Yeah. Even though at the time it feels like, well, I can only go by my own feelings in this one, but it feels like the whole world is against you when you set on this path. It's building you up. Basically, it's transforming you into that healer. Yeah. You can't heal people if you haven't healed yourself, and B, you haven't. The more life lessons that you get, the more understanding you are of other people that need healing. Yeah. I feel like that's what's going on at the moment. Right, so we've got balance, harmony, and music of life. Yeah, so I said before, didn't I? Balancing up these energies, balancing up your chakras, maybe finding something to ground you, maybe music, as this says music. Put some inspiring music on, maybe meditation music. Mark Byersky on YouTube, he's got a good meditation music free of charge on YouTube. That's a really good one. Or anything that uplifts you, gets you in that, uplifts you or balances you, basically. Brings you back to yourself, brings you back to grounding. I feel that a lot of energies now, as you've opened up, the more you open up, the more that all these energies are going to come at you, because if you're a healer, you're healing people with a lot of, in a dark place, in a lost place. I'm not saying everyone, but they've come to you, or they're coming to you for healing for a reason. Yeah. And in order for you to heal them in whatever way that is that you heal, could, like I said before, hands-on, talking, maybe just, being there in that energy, heals people. Listening to them, tarot reading, any form of healing, basically. But then people are coming to you because they've got things and issues that need healing. So therefore, you have to make yourself, if this is the path that you're taking and this is, your life purpose, this manifestation of purpose that you're on and you know it, you have to make yourself strong in order and know which, make yourself strong and know which emotions and feelings are yours and, what's everybody else's, because otherwise you're going to burn yourself out. Yeah. And there's no point burning yourself out to help other people when it's you that's going to need the healer. Also, if you're running on low batteries, as it were, you could be hindering more than helping, because if someone comes to see you when you're in a low frame of mind, or, if you encounter someone, and you're in a lower vibration, then you're going to take that energy off that other person, rather than healing them. And vice versa, if you're not in your centre when you're doing your healing work, then instead of providing the healing for that person, they're going to be zapping your energy. Rather than channeling that energy in whatever way, they're going to be taking your energy, which leaves you dry. So it's a lot about working on yourself first, putting the hours in, putting the effort in, which I do feel that a lot of you are doing right now, otherwise you wouldn't be on this path, Obviously, some sort of healing work's taking place on your behalf, otherwise you wouldn't even know that you're on this path in the first place. So keeping your energy levels up, and knowing what you're all about is very important. Your chakra alignment, as it says here, you've got a lot of chakras. Oh, sorry. I'm going on about healing here and I'm still coughing. It's because I've saged quite strongly in here, so now I'm coughing off it. Or maybe it's something to do with talking, as I'm getting this now, healing. Maybe I need healing here. If you want to send me any, that's fine. The crown chakra. Let's read that one, actually. What does that say? This chakra is located at the crown of the head and is the source of enlightenment and our connection to the divine. Right, you've got 3 cards here, saying that you're connected. So someone who's watching this now might actually benefit from some sort of crown chakra work, helping that connection grow. I'm picking up on a lot of amethyst. As you can see, I've got a lot of amethyst here. I've got angel aura here, which I find is quite a strong crystal. Now, as I've said before, I go to Mark Bayersky, and I will put a link in the description. Pure Energy Healing Academy for my crystal, a lot of my crystals, because I know they're genuine and he works with them, and he's also a healer. This is where I get a lot of my work from. He doesn't pay me to promote him. I just think, he's a really, if you're in this healing line of work, he is a really, really good mentor or shop to go to. As I say, I'll put a link in there. Yeah, but working on a crown chakra, and maybe as well heart chakra, all chakras, but this one is saying, a lot of maybe work a bit more on your connection, clear that chakra out a little bit. Right, we'll read this one as well. What's this one say? Turquoise aura meaning. People with turquoise auras feel a strong sense of progressing the human race. They are effective multitaskers and very focused when completing tasks, but can get stuck in their own ways of doing things. Right, so if this one's resonating with you, or maybe, yeah, number 7 as well, 6-1. Right, so maybe with this one, wearing turquoise or surrounding yourself with a bit more turquoise, it might, help balance you out there. If you've got, it helps you to focus and stuff as well, on certain areas. That might benefit someone anyway. Right, you do have this card as well, Healer of the Ages. So I think whoever's watching this now is a healer of the ages. I really do feel that this is why I was inspired to do this reading today, because I really feel now that there is a lot of healers coming forward in this energy. Yeah, I get that really, really strongly at the moment in whatever form that is, like I said before. But the healers need looking after too. Yeah, I get that very, very strongly. It's not just the people that you're healing, it's you that needs, Right, I'm going to pull some tarot cards and see what else we get. Right, let's see what we've got then. Oh. Yeah, so I'm getting feelings of frustration with someone. Also, hang on a minute. Right, okay. I'm getting something to do with the heart. It could be heart chakra again. It could be someone's healing. Something to do with the heart. Also, though, this flower here, this is about tending to yourself again. 7 again. Was that 7? Let's just see that other 7. What's that? Am I seeing things? Oh, no, yeah, we did. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so number 7, yeah? I get with this one, so this is you here, yeah? Firm stem, dropping away everything that doesn't, isn't for your benefit. Purple, intuition, yet again, maybe amethyst, like I said. Drinking more water, I think might benefit someone out there, or it might benefit us all, because I think I could do with the drink of water right now, and that's what I'm getting. But I'll get one in a minute. So, yeah, I am getting strong drinking more water. Maybe a water fast for some people. I'm planning on doing a water fast next week, or in the next couple of days anyway, for a few days. So that, yet again, might benefit someone. If you can't manage, a long time, just go as long as you can. Yeah, if that's a day, that's that's more than enough. But if you can If it feels right to you and you can go further, or maybe try a week's water fast. So that's not eating anything but drinking, water. Maybe a few days water fast, maybe a few days after that juice fast, and then, back to eating healthy. I think also drinking pure water. So I went and got myself a water filter, that you fit on the tap, because I did have a distiller, but it broke. And, it takes forever trying to distill the water all day, and you only get, unless you get a big one. But I got if I can remember, if I've got the details of it, I'll put it in the description. But, they're not that expensive. I think it was about £40. They're on offer. But you attach it to your tap and then it filters all your water, so you don't have to bother about, distilling. But that is a cheaper way of making sure you get fresh water. What I like to do then as well, just as is obviously, because it's filtered out everything as well as the nasties, I put it in a green glass bottle and I put it on my windowsill, to get the sunlight and that on it, and then I put it in the fridge, and then, but that's if that's speaking to you, then that's just a little idea. But I think, drinking more water might benefit all of us right now. Right, so what else have we got, Spirit? Okay, what have that? Right, so High Priest. Right, so I've got strong intuition with, I think everybody probably watching this or resonating with this now anyway does have, heightened intuition. I do feel that if you're more open to communication, which, I feel like you'd be getting a lot more downloads at the moment, or more sort of messages coming through. You might actually end up getting bombarded right now with the energy coming in. So just be mindful of that. Maybe close yourself down, maybe ground yourself a bit more. Like I said before, water, maybe putting your feet on the grass, sitting by a tree, taking yourself to the sea, maybe, whatever grounds you, puts you back into alignment. I do feel that someone up until recently has felt sort of restricted, some sort of restriction with the progress. But I do, as you can see here, I do feel you are breaking out of that now. This could have something to do with this, intuition, heightened intuition or awareness coming through. So I do feel that you're, breaking through that barrier, so to speak. So I wouldn't even worry about that, really. It'll happen, just keep trusting the process. It will happen. The power. Right, so what I'm getting off this one is, with the power comes great responsibility. Yeah. So in whatever form that you're, the healing work that you're doing, just be mindful that, what, now can I put this? Yeah. Whatever you're saying or doing, just be mindful of, it's the other person's choice whether they take your advice on board or not. You know, don't push them into it. You know, and I'm just going to put it out there now, you know, reading this. I'm just telling you what's in the cards and what I'm feeling. You know, I'm not actually telling you to do anything. And neither spirit, you know, it's your choice. But this card also says that, you know. So I feel a lot of you watching this now, a lot of healers out there or watching it in the future, you know, be mindful of the fact, don't force the message onto anybody. Yeah. And I do feel that a lot of you, you know, out there, very, very, very powerful healers in some description. I mean, you've got this one, you've got the Healer of Ages, you know, you've got High, you know, Priestess, you've got, what else did you have? Yep, Divine Higher Self, Manifestation of Purpose. So I do feel a lot of you are very gifted, you know, if you've been drawn to this message. As usual, you are getting help with this process anyway. You know that anyway. I've got a lot of self-love here. So, you know, taking care of yourself is the utmost importance. First off, you can't help anybody unless you've helped yourself first. I do get with this one as well. I think someone out there is some sort of marriage counsellor, relationships counsellor, you know, something along them lines. You know, I think you'll be really, really, really special at that, you know, at connecting with those needs of other people, whoever that's for. I think you'll be very gifted at that, you know, getting to the root of the problem with relationships, which is a very important role because at the minute, relationships are very messy with people. So if you can do that, hats off to you, because people are messy, as we all know. Right, what do I want to pull now? Right, I'm going to pull a couple of these, in fact, first. Right, I'm sorry. I am so sorry about coughing right the way through this, honestly. As I said before, if you want to send me some healing, that's great. I don't actually feel ill. I think it's just the smoke in here. Right, so. Do we have a message from Egypt? Message from Egypt, Spirit? No. Yep, death and rebirth. So, obviously, death and rebirth is, you know, end of a cycle, beginning of a new. But also, I feel with this card, as this is a healing one, maybe death doulas. Anyone thought about being a birth doula or a death doula? I know I've started looking into becoming a death doula because I just find it interesting. But, you know, also studying to be one. But I do feel with this card that someone out there is learning something to do with birth or death. Yeah. So maybe if that card resonates with you, have a look into that, death or birth doulas, or because the reason why I wanted to do it is because I believe that, you know, when you're born into the world, you should come in, you know, in a nice, natural way the more you can. And I think a lot of hospitals, you know, the way they do it is, you know, sometimes it can be quite traumatic for the, you know, for the mother and the father who's there as well. You know, it doesn't always go according to plan. So the more natural or the more easier you can make it. But equally, when we check out of this world and go to the next world, you know, I used to work with a lot of palliative care, and I also used to work in a lot of nursing homes and stuff, and the deaths weren't always the best, you know, and I believe that we should leave this world in a good way as well, you know. That's my personal opinion. But, you know, I think a lot of birth and death doulas are definitely needed right now, you know, to reorganise the system, as it were, you know, make it better. But, I mean, that could be in lots of different ways. I mean, you could be looking at becoming a midwife or, you know, a palliative care worker, you know, a Macmillan care, you know, anything like that. But that's the feeling I get off that card. My camera just cut off then, it's just as I was finishing up. Oh well, I'll try and patch them together. I'm not very technical. Anyway, so we'll pull a couple of these ones and an angel number to finish off. One more, please, Spirit. Right, so these, I've got 3 here. Right, so these are like affirmation card things, you know. So I've got serenity, through love, release and inner work, I know peace. I have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. Creation. I have the power to direct my life. With a constructive attitude, I create what is best for my soul. I firmly believe I can transform and improve my inner and outer worlds by turning every thought into affirmative action. I act in the image of God and bring light into my life. And then unconditional love. My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open the eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in every being. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. Right, so if you need to listen to them again, just, you know, rewind it back. If I'm doing affirmations, I tend to say them like 3 times. That's just me, but, you know, it might help. Or whatever number you're drawn to, you know, try saying it that amount of times so it gets stuck in your head. Right, we'll finish off on a angel number. Right, so if you're seeing this number, hang on, I have these. Right, okay. If you're seeing this angel number, this is confirmation from spirit, angels, you know, what, higher self. So it's just extra confirmation, you know, to keep your eyes and ears open. Or maybe using this number. Right, so I'm going to pick out. I'm laughing because I keep seeing this number everywhere. Right, 333. Spiritual awakening. Your spiritual awakening is unfolding. Trust your inner wisdom and follow your path. Yes, I will, Spirit. Yes, I will. Right, healers. Thank you for viewing me today. I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, please leave a like or a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share this message if you know other healers that might, you know, benefit from this message. Keep doing what you're doing and you'll be more powerful than you can ever imagine. Use it wisely. And hopefully I shall see you on the next one. Bye.